working on some VRVs. This whole building's got some crazy issues. They've had several contractors working on this, and I'm barely scratching the surface on where it is so far. But regardless, it's not controlling the space properly. And these VRVs are working in unison with those Aeons. And the way they ended up setting it up is these Aeons are outside air units only. They're just processing outside air, and they're bringing in makeup air, and they're doing the air exchange. That's their only function. But whenever we got here, for whatever reason, they were trying to use the Aeons as comfort cooling. And these VRVs are clearly not functioning properly. Like, for example, this is supposed to be a bank. This was the master. Well, for some reason, this has been completely decommissioned, and these units they're less than 2 years old. And now these two are the only two that are actually operating. I'm getting my network map set up now. And then we've got another bank controlling commercial space here. One of the Aeons, so we had to go through and recommission all the Aeons. That one's got some bad sensors on it, so I got a tech working on fixing that now. We've got another set of banks here. I mean, it's just a lot. I don't have my head even 100% around this full scope of everything. I'm trying to kind of build it as I go. You can see they got a rack system for the refrigeration side. Anyway, so we're trying to figure it out. But my first step is, I think, if I understand correctly, these are the main ones that they're giving them the most trouble. So we're going to start here. I'm still waiting on my map to connect and build. So not everything is hooked up just yet, and I got a comm error. Well, that's nice. I see system 2 here. It's fully connected. And what's crazy about it, when I walked up, did they actually connect all these units? They may have. See, I got 4 systems total, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count 5 on the roof here. So I'm wondering, so you can link all these together. I'm wondering if they did. It's still trying to do its thing. Yeah, see, I'm going in and out between comm errors. I don't like that. That tells me that we've got some sort of unstable network. They're constantly going in and out of comms. And this should be the unit I'm actually hooked to. It's struggling to connect. Like, it should have already populated all this by now. It's really struggling. It is the first time I'm connecting to it, so it's going to take it some time. And because we have, okay, there it goes. It's starting to figure it out now. Because we have multiple systems connected, it's going to take it a while to figure it all out. But basically, each condenser or each outdoor unit is going to populate 2 boxes, and then the whole thing between all of them, they're going to have one master box, if you will, or outdoor unit here. So technically, even though we're supposed to have 3, only 2 are actually working on this particular branch. So we should have a total of 5 once it's said and done. And we're still building out here. I got 2, 4, 6, 7. Got all these indoors. So that purple means it's having a communication trouble. Part of the problem is they've had several people working on this before they called us. There's been so little documentation as to what's happened out here. So it's going to be a challenge. I know y'all can't even hardly see that because of the sun. It's way freaking bright out here. See, all these indoors are having trouble. When I first walked up, it was like these 2 condensers were maxed out. They were running 100%, in which, I mean, it makes sense. They're trying to run what should be on 3 condensers on 2. I mean, it just ain't gonna do its thing. And as far as the property is concerned, that, you know, everything should be online. Like, that's what's crazy about it is, even with everything that's been going on out here, as far as they know, they're not supposed to have any problems, but they keep having these complaints. So the vendors that have been working out here, they've not been relaying it all back. I guess I don't know. As you can tell, there's a lot of confusion. There's your outside air sensor. Goes right there. So we got that changed out. That was what it was doing, is it was reading too low, and it was causing us to kick over into a heat mode because we're transitioning modes based off of outside air since it's set up to run as an outside air unit. Anyway, so we got that sensor replaced. And something I'm going to mention, people put zip ties on these, and they put them right there because those are a little bit smaller ports. The problem whenever you do that is you're literally crimping the tube, and you're making the tube to where it's not sensing properly. So the reading on this Paragon will constantly come in and out, or it'll be dramatically low from what it was supposed to be. And you can come in here and kind of play with the tubes a little bit, and all of a sudden it'll pick up and start reading properly. Well, it's because they freaking crimped the tube in here. And you can pull it off, and you can see right there. That one little crimp right there is what bites you in the butt. So I don't do this, okay? If you see it like this, remove it, change it. We got some regular nylon hose we can put in there that'll actually fit on that little tit, and you know, just do it the right way. Let's not, just don't do that. So reading through the other company's reports, I'm finding that they found throughout the building, as part of their walkthroughs, a bunch of the boxes having, or the FCUs having U4 and U9 codes. Well, U4 is a direct communication error between indoor and outdoor, and the U9 is another box in the system has a communication error, which correlates to what I'm seeing here at the condensers. Something is going on where that whole comm network it's got some issues for sure. I don't know if it's comm modules on a couple of units causing the whole system to have an issue, if it was wired wrong maybe, or if it was maybe they've got a wire between a couple of units that is not communicating properly. Maybe it's shorting out intermittently or something. I don't know. What we would have to do to identify it is we'd have to come through and isolate all of the condensers up here from each other and try to see which ones continue to have an unstable comm and which ones stabilize and start working fine. And so I'm pretty confident it may be just one or two of the actual branches that are having the trouble, but because they're all tied together, it's causing the entire building to have trouble. Again, just because they're all linked is what I'm thinking at the moment. We've got, I think, 4 or 5 of them. We got 5 banks of condensers up here. 4 of them are wired together. So one of them is not. I don't know which one isn't yet. So we're working on that, and we're trying to hear back from the customer of just how far do they want us to take this, because, you know, now that we kind of have an idea of what's going on, diving into that comm troubleshooting is a major undertaking. Even if we only keep it on the roof side, because we have to shut all the equipment down, and it's a lot that goes into it. Anyway, on the Aeons though, we got much better results going on. We got that one unit back online, and we're about to plug into it and verify it. Before we did that outside air sensor, because it was reading low, it kept going into a heat mode. Well, it's been running for a hot minute now. I mean, probably at least 10-15 minutes. We haven't plugged into it yet, and it has not gone into heat. And as HVACR videos commonly says, please don't blow up. So we're getting them tuned in. The outside air sensor did fix it. We're reading spot on now. We're going in and checking the calibration. I'm sorry, we're checking the configurations, just kind of verifying them, making sure nobody else has come in behind us and tried to make any other adjustments, which so far it looks like we're doing okay. Doesn't look like anybody else has been messing with it. I will point something out. I was talking about that Paragon. So the engineers wanted this to run at about 18,000. It's been fluctuating between 17 and 19. Before we did these tubes, we were only showing like 4,000. The only thing that changed was we fixed the tubes. So that's just an example of how big of an impact that little crimp on that hose was having on the whole system. So we got a plan. We're gonna give a full report to the customer, let them know what we found, tell them about what's gonna be required in order to go deeper into this. So inevitably, we need to isolate all the condensers from each other. We need to get that one condenser back online and see why they shut it down, because nobody knows. And then just go from there. So we'll have a return at some point once they approve it, maybe a couple of weeks from now, I don't know. The good news is we've got everything on the Aeon straight, so that's going to be a big benefit. There's a lot of progress so far, and we'll just keep going from there.